Alright, this is the second video in the Fundamental Theorem of Calculus sequence that uses Excel, and you're going to pause this in just a minute, so get a pencil and paper ready. Our problem is that copper is being extracted from a certain mine at a rate given by m prime of t is equal to 100 t e to the negative 0.5 t squared, where t is the number of years since 2000 and t is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 10, and m is tons of copper. Using the fundamental theorem of calculus to determine the area under the curve from 2002 to 2008, interpret the meaning of the answer in the context of the problem. So the very first thing that I want you to do is I want you to set up an integral. So I want you to set up your definite integral from, let's see, 2002 to 2008. So that would be from 2 to 8, since we're looking at our years since 2000. But I really want you to anti-differentiate this piece. We're going to use Excel to do the actual calculation. But I want to make sure that you don't fall short in your practice of anti-differentiation. So pause the video here and find the antiderivative of 100 t e to the negative 0.5 t squared. Okay, so if you're coming back, I'm hopeful that you have taken the time to anti-differentiate, and I'll get to that piece in just a minute. So here's my upper limit of 8, that represents 2008, and 2 represents 2002. Now, you might be confused a little bit with these values that I have here and here, these negative values, but don't be. When you see a negative, it really just means that the area that we're looking at is under the x-axis. They're both under the x-axis, and we'll talk about what that is in terms of the context of the problem in just a second. But as I double-click on my cell that has the antiderivative in it, I really want to make sure that you're understanding where that antiderivative comes from. You had to do a simple u substitution. Again, I'm going to encourage you to pause the video. If you do not have that as your antiderivative, please go back and take a look at how I ended up with negative 100 e to the negative 0.5 t squared, essentially. Then I will double-click that down, and here I'm simply going to subtract my upper limit minus my lower limit. So I end up with a positive value there, and that positive value is giving me the tons of copper total, all of the copper that was extracted between the years 2002 and 2008. Now, I know in this video I'm making some assumptions, and one of the big assumptions is that you've watched some of the previous videos. But the other thing here is that I want to make sure that you go back, and if you're not getting the correct antiderivative here, that you take the time and you're able to do that.